Hi there, Danae here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about a question that I get super commonly from families all over. So, how to transition from a crib. And this is something that I think a lot of parents dread and fear and procrastinate, but I don't think that it has to be this way. So I want to tell you a little bit about how I did it with my own kids and then answer any questions that you might have after I wrap up this video. So I am here in my 2-year-old's room. Now I transitioned my first child, who's now 4.5. He was transitioned at 13 months, and my daughter I transitioned at 19 months. Now, I chose the times based on what was going on in our lives, so making sure that we had the time and space and there wasn't too much transition at that point in the game. My daughter, we had just moved across the country, so I wanted to wait until we were really settled into our new home before we did it, which is why I waited till closer to 19 months to do it for her. But here we have in her room her new floor bed, which we really love, and I'm excited to tell you more about in a minute. But I want to first explain to you that I know that there are a lot of people out there who say you should make the transition as early as possible you should wait as long as possible. You know, you should cage them in and trap them into their cribs and put it off until you absolutely have to. And I actually think you should do it early. I have two main reasons for that. The first being that I really like to encourage independence from an early age. As soon as children are mobile around 12, 13, 14 months, they like to have increasingly more freedom. And if we can create a safe place for them to roam and to not be under such a close, watchful eye of their parents, that we can start to give them that autonomy that they really crave. And I think that the bedroom is a really great place for that. So I think that the first reason, first and foremost, is that it gives our kids increased independence and it lets them explore safely. So that I think is super important. The second reason is that I think that finding this window of time to transition our kids before 18 months means that we are doing it before they reach the stage of the 18 to 24 month old sort of getting into the terrible twos, where they are not terrible, but they are expressing their opinions and they're saying no, and they are starting to engage into power struggles with us. So I think that if we can do the transition before we get to that point, that we can actually do it a little bit more seamlessly and smoothly, because they are more than likely, most kids are a little bit more likely to go with the flow if you do it before they get into the twos. I know traditionally most kids are like around 2.5 or 3 before they make the transition, and I think that that can be a really challenging time behaviorally for parents to begin with. So the fewer transitions we have to deal with during that time, the better. And if we can preempt those more challenging behaviors, I think that that is always a win-win for us and for the kids. So I advocate for a quick 3-step simple system to transition kids from the crib to the bedroom. And I like to, first of all, of course, start in the crib and create a very safe space. So making sure that everything within the bedroom is safe and child-friendly. You can see behind me we have some low shelves and then a low picture over here for my daughter to look at and explore. So keeping things accessible, just a few things that are accessible to look at and to play with for kids. And then to start with a very low bed. So step 2, I really love floor beds. A lot of people just throw a mattress on the floor and that can work. There are quite a bit of reports that say that if you do just put the mattress on the floor, that if you leave it there for too long, that you will get mold underneath. So starting with a basic floor bed can be a really great way to go. This one is from Sprout Kids. I'll put the link under this in the comments so that you can check that out. And it's actually 20% off this week, so I think you should act on it if you're looking for one of these. So in step 1, make the room safe before you get the kid out of the crib. Step 2 is that the bedroom becomes an extension of the crib. So first you have a child in a crib and that's their safe place. Once they're fully mobile, they can make the bedroom sort of like this giant crib, this giant safe space where they can be. And I do encourage you to keep the door closed at this point, because when we put a kid into a bed and we leave the door open, we're going from no freedom to a whole lot of freedom, and that transition can be a little bit much for most kids. So I like moving to a floor bed or to a mattress on the floor and starting that transition with the door closed in a small, safe environment. And then step 3, which is giving them free rein to come and go. And that didn't happen for my first until he was about 3.5, when I felt really safe to have him coming and going in and out of his bedroom at night when we were sleeping. And for me, it's mostly a safety concern, and knowing that if there ever was an emergency in our house and I needed to get to him, that I would know exactly where he was. So if there was a fire, he probably would wander and look for my husband and I. But if our kids are safely in their rooms, we know exactly where to find them when we need them. So I am an advocate for keeping kids in their room as long as we can, as long as we need to keep them safe until we can teach them what to do in the case of emergencies, and to make sure that they're safe being in the home unsupervised if the parents are sleeping. So that is my 2 cents about the transition. I am happy to answer any questions that you all have. And I wanted to tell you a little bit about my floor bed and the mattress that we have here. Give you like a little bit of a better look. So I'm going to put the links below about this. But so this is a super cool thing right here, because what happens is you can flip this bed over and it transitions into a big kid bed. So after they grow a little bit and they're safe to be in a big kid bed, then you can flip it over and you can use it dual purpose. So I think that's super smart. I always love when you can use furniture for more than one reason for a longer period of time. And the mattress, so that the floor bed is from Sprout Kids, and I'm going to put the link and the 20% off discount code in the comments. Kind of making you all dizzy here. Sorry about that. And then the mattress is from Bundle of Dreams, which is a new company that focuses on developing safe mattresses for kids. And I'm going to put the link as well to that and the 20% off discount code for the mattress too. And I get a lot of questions about mattresses for kids, and there are some good safe options out there. I really love these 2 companies, Sprout Kids and Bundle of Dreams, because they make really safe, sustainable products for kids. They're both made in America. And small companies, family companies, which I think is really special and really important too. And they're affordable, which is great, because I know that a lot of us love to buy small and shop small and buy sustainably but when we can, but it's not always sustainable financially for us to do it. So I'm really glad that companies like this are making it possible for more of us to access them. So let me know what your questions are. I'm going to put the links to the things I talked about below, and I also wrote a blog post on this. So if you want a quick summary of everything that I've talked about, you can find that on the Simple Families blog today. And let me know what your thoughts are.